This video is rated 18, suitable only for persons of 18 and over.
I have you.
Hello YouTube, LJ Draco here. Yes, as you can tell by the title, I'm back with another Blu-ray shelf. Getting through these as best as I can. There are still there's still about 6 shelves left, so it's getting there. It's getting there. So this is a continuation of the last shelf that I showed. Because the last film on the last video was Hot Fuzz, so this is continuing on from the H's into the next sections of the alphabet. Yes, alphabet. Right, so let's get started. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Absolutely love this movie. The funniest thing is, on the VHS release this years ago, it was literally just called The Grinch. I remember having the VHS, it was just called The Grinch. And then when the DVDs and the Blu-rays came out, it was then called How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So that was pretty funny how they changed that, really. Okay. Is Hurt Locker. I am actually upset about this and happy about this. This was done by, if I am not mistaken, Catherine Bigelow, who is James Cameron's ex-wife. This came out at the same time as Avatar, and this won the box office like over more. And this actually, didn't this win awards? I swear this like won awards, and it beat Avatar for something. So I was annoyed about that because I'm a massively huge fan of Avatar, as everyone knows. But then I actually watched this, and this is actually a pretty entertaining film. So I kind of understand why. Right. I, Robot. A really good sci-fi film. I actually do enjoy this film. There's a lot of faults with it, but it's enjoyable. Like, I can still watch it and have fun. Then, I Am Legend. Just an amazing film. I know the CGI creature things, like, I know that they're not the best that Hollywood's done, but they're just, yet again, it's just one of those films that you can still enjoy it, especially, I'll link a video that I did. I did like a video making fun of a scene in this, and I can't help but laugh every time I see that scene. So I'll link that in the description below if you haven't seen that video before. Then coming up, one of my favourite like thrillers of all time, Identity. Such a great cast. John Cusack, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet. You've also got Alfred Molina in this. You've also got the guy that plays Dr. Cox. There's just a great cast, and it's one of the best thrillers I've ever seen. Really enjoyable film. If you haven't seen it, go check that out. A Terry Gilliam film, The Imaginary of Dr. Parnassus. Now, I absolutely love this sleeve. Look how shiny this damn thing is. It's beautiful. One of Heath Ledger's last movies. And yet again, just one of those fantastic movies. Like, I recently watched Time Bandits. My first time ever seeing Time Bandits. Absolutely love it. I've also seen Fisher King. Love Fisher King. I've also seen The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, which was also a very fun film. I do like Terry Gilliam. I think he's very talented in what he does. And this shows no exception. This is just as beautiful as the others. Great story. And yet again, another fun cast. Andrew Garfield being allowed to be British. Who knew that could happen, right? A film that I actually did not know I actually bought. Now, this is weird because I actually watched this at my in-laws' house many years ago on TV. And I really loved the film. And I was always looking for a physical copy. I have no recollection of ever purchasing this. But I must have done. And it is The Imitation Game. Just a fantastic story. And yet, Benedict Cumberbatch, I didn't like the idea of Sherlock. I've never seen it. And I wasn't really keen on him as an actor. However, over the past few years, his movies and his acting has really got to me. He is a fantastic actor, and I like him for it. Okay. Imperium. I like Daniel Radcliffe in the Harry Potter movies. After Harry Potter movies, I was never really keen on watching anything else he'd been in, just because it was kind of difficult for me to think that he could be good in anything else. And then I watched like Woman in Black, and I was like, yeah, this is okay. This isn't great. It's okay, but it's not great. Then I watched Horns, and I love Horns. I think Horns is a fantastic film. Then I watched Jungle, and Jungle was freaking amazing. Fantastic. And I was like, damn, he's actually a good actor outside of the Harry Potter like films. Okay, I'm going to give his films a go. I haven't got around to watching this yet, but I do also want to watch this. I also want to watch Swiss Army Man. I also want to see the other film that he's come out in where he's got the guns nailed to his hands. I want to see that. But I actually do like his acting. He can act other than just as Harry Potter. It's possible. I never thought it was. Right. Inception, one of the best mindfucks of all time. Very intelligent story, great cast yet again. Just also a very stunning movie on Blu-ray. I think this was very well done. I know people say that this is like a kind of modern day live action take of a film called Paprika. First person who ever told me that was my friend Sacha. And I've seen trailers to Paprika, and I get slight hints of what they're talking about and stuff like that. But this still does feel different. Like, it feels like it's on a different level. Like I said, I love the entire cast in this film. I think they're all great together. Right. Independence Day. My first time watching this was last year, and I think this is probably one of the best like alien movies to exist. Definitely in my top 5 favourite alien movies. I do own the sequel in 3D, and that film was only to ever be watched just for the 3D thrill alone. Story was not that impressive. It was good, but not that impressive. This is a fantastic movie. I enjoyed every second of this, the way it was shot, the actors and their style of acting, their persuasiveness, the alien design, I mean, obviously the main scene, which is, we all know, the ship and the White House, just blew me away. Didn't expect it to be that good at all. One of my favourite films growing up as a child. This was actually a film that made me think that the idea of Toy Story could become real. And it is Indian in the Cupboard, one of the best childhood movies of my life. The fact that the whole point of the story is a little cupboard that turns your toys into like real people and real creatures. That shit's awesome. I would love for that to have happened as a kid. There's a very iconic scene, which is not really a spoiler because the whole point of the story is that his toys comes to life when he uses the cupboard. There's a scene where you've got Robocop and Darth Vader like fighting T-Rexes and shit. That's an awesome scene. But yet again, great acting, great cast, and just overall fun movie. This was a gift off my friend Roger, who everyone knows as Channel Donstar. Give the man support. He's getting better. He's on his feet. He's happy. He's healthy. So everyone just give him support. He's been in hospital for quite a long time. And like I say, he's getting better. He's getting back to his old self, which I'm happy about. He was upset that I'd never seen any of these movies, and he really wanted me to get through them as soon as possible. So he gifted me a set that I never thought I'd ever receive. And it was the Indiana Jones collection. And I am so thankful for it because I do love these movies. They are really enjoyable. They have a lot to offer. And yeah, really fun adventure movies. One of the funniest things that makes me laugh at one of these movies is there's a random scene at the beginning. It's not expected at all. And I could not stop howling. And I'm not gonna hide behind like closed doors. I think that the fourth one is okay. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's like the most amazing. I think it's still watchable. It's enjoyable to some extent. I found it's still nowhere near as great as the first 3. But the fourth one is still watchable in my eyes. Like, I can still enjoy it the way I do the others. So, yeah. So, thank you for that. Inglourious Basterds, a great movie. Something, yet again, I expected to be terrible. And it was fantastic. Loved every second of it. Gory as fuck. Inkheart, a movie I can't recommend enough. Great Brendan Fraser movie. Andy Serkis, Paul Bettany, Jim Broadbent. This is about a guy called a Silver Tongue who, whenever he reads books, he can pull out a character or something from the book, but it has to be switched with something from the real world. It's kind of like a switch. It's a really great, interesting movie. A film given to me by my friend Sacha. He sent me a disc and I ended up printing a sleeve for it when my printer was still working. The Interview. This film was really enjoyable all the way through. Really funny. Just a nice, calm watch. Until the last, I'd say, half an hour. And then it just goes from 0 to 100 very quickly and very unexpectedly. And yeah, was not expecting that at all. Another film from my childhood that I think a lot of people from, at least I'd say from the late 80s to early 90s. Well, I mean, because this came out in the late 90s, but a lot of kids during that time would not have really remembered this film. But it is Iron Giant, and it's just one of those fun animated family movies. Vin Diesel voicing the Iron Giant himself. I think this is just an amazing family movie. It also helps kids kind of relate to the idea of mortality. You know, things have a purpose, but things also just have an end. It's a way of life. It's an order to things. And it makes some people kind of like understand and get used to that kind of thought process from such a young age. And I liked it. I liked the fact that they could give you a fun family movie, but with some serious, heartwarming and like genuinely important conversation, you know? Good blend. Just gotta wait because this camera, it only allows me to record for up to 12 minutes per video. So, oh, maybe not. Maybe that's only the back camera. Well, I felt like a tit. It's probably going to be edited out of me. Right, next up is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. This was actually sent to me yesterday by my friend Sacha. She sent me a bunch of movies and some sleeves. I'm not showing the sleeves in separate videos anymore because I'm waiting till I've completely filled out my volume 1 bind with all of his custom sleeves from before till now. Once that's completely filled, I will do a video based on all those sleeves he sent me. And you'll see the video, the films that he sent me, you'll see them through this collection, so you won't have to worry about that. But yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. I watched this last night. Freaking hilarious. Now, I've not seen any of the other kind of movies. I've not seen Mallrats. I've not seen Clerks or Clerks 2 or Chasing Amy. I've only ever really seen Dogma. So, I mean, that's kind of frustrating that I didn't get to see all those before watching this. However, I didn't need to. I still enjoyed this. Okay, I didn't get many of the references. I didn't care. Just the attitude between Jay and Silent Bob and the other actors in this was hilarious. So I still got to enjoy the comedy. I still got to enjoy the story that this had to offer. It was still fun. A film that is making a bunch of memes right now. Like, there's tons of memes out there about this specific film-related topic. Jumanji. Jumanji is one of my, yet again, my favourite Robin Williams films. Really fun, but also really dark, really sadistic in certain places. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, it's not sadistic. Yeah, there's some things in that that's quite sadistic. But it's a really fun, again, family movie. You can sit around together, watch this. And the thing that I love about this release especially is it comes with an interactive Blu-ray board game that you can play with your remote with your family of 4 players. And that's quite fun. I've done that with my family and the in-laws. We've all had fun doing it. But Jumanji is, yet again, just another beautiful movie on Blu-ray. Jumper, a movie that I can stand Christian Haydenson in, along with Awake. I do like Awake. That was a better film for him than I thought he'd ever get. But Jumper is actually a really interesting story. So I do recommend people who haven't seen this, go and check it out. Don't want to talk too much about it, but it's good. And here we go, Jungle, film I told you I watched. Just a fantastic film based on a true story. Daniel Radcliffe did a really good job in this, so give him credit for that. Then we have Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3. Now, I haven't really watched the sequels in a long time. I do own the first one on 3D as well, but I got this just to have the set on the shelf together. I think the 3D is probably one of the best conversions I've ever seen. Ever. Right, then we have Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2. Kick-Ass 1 is the better film, but Kick-Ass 2 with Jim Carrey's character was incredible. He didn't play typical Jim Carrey in that. He was something serious, and I loved it. He was like dark, twisted, serious, and it was good. It's good when you see actors do something out of their element, and it turns out it perfectly fits them. Alright, Kill Bill 1 and 2, great Quentin Tarantino action movies. Peter Jackson's King Kong. This, out of modern Kong, this is my favourite. I do enjoy Kong Skull Island. I think it was a great film, but my only issue with Kong from Kong Skull Island, I mentioned this before, is I don't like how he only walks on the back legs like a stroppy human. I love the whole silverback, giant gorilla, on the knuckles, like leaping across the floor, swinging from the trees. Love it, because that's what King Kong was. He was the big ape, you know. That's who he was. So I enjoyed that for this aspect. Kingdom of Heaven, a movie about religion that I never thought I'd actually like, but it was enjoyable. It was quite long, but an enjoyable film. And I'm not overly keen on Orlando Bloom, but he was alright. And yet again, a great cast as well. Jeremy Irons, Liam Neeson, Eva Green, Orlando Bloom. Right, Kite Runner. I've not watched this yet. My friend Sacha sent me this a long time ago, and I've still not watched it. I look forward to watching it at some point soon. I've just got so many films to get through that I forget about ones that I've bought more recently, or that people have sent me a while back, because it's just, there's so many to get through. Knocked Up, funny Seth Green movie. Well, that's all I can say though. Most Seth Green movies are funny. LA Confidential. This is a custom sleeve that Sacha made me because he only had the disc that he sent, so he printed out a custom sleeve for me. Not seen this, but heard good things. Labyrinth. Great movie. If you haven't seen this, please go and check this out, along with Dark Crystal and Mirror Mask. 3 amazing movies. But Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie. Great movies. Well, great movie. Talking too fast. I am. Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events. Fantastically dark movie. Yet again with Jim Carrey. It's weird how Jim Carrey does do really well in a lot of dark movies. You know, it's pretty good. But this shows his acting talents in this, so it's pretty good. Alright, so Lethal Weapon and Lethal Weapon collection. Now, the reason I own the first Lethal Weapon is because the first disc to this collection just keeps freezing. It doesn't work. It skips like an entire 15 or 20 minutes out of the movie. And I don't know how to get that working. But there's no marks on the disc. I don't know what it is. But this plays all the way through. And the weirdest thing is that the picture quality on this one is actually a lot better than the picture quality was on the first disc of this one. I don't know how that works, but yeah. But either way, it was just to make sure that I could watch all the movies. The Librarian Collection. Now, if you're a fan of Warehouse 13 and Indiana Jones, this is like a combination of the two mixed together. There's also a Librarian TV show that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen. These are the first 3 movies from that series, and I think this is actually a pretty good trilogy. Little Miss Sunshine, very fun-filled but emotional family movie. Lord of the Rings trilogy. I love this trilogy. I actually love Lord of the Rings a lot more than Game of Thrones. And I know a lot of people don't see it that way. They say Game of Thrones is so much better because of the unpredictability and, you know, there's more nudity and what. That's not what it's about for me. It's the fact that Game of Thrones did take a lot of inspiration from these. And you know, when you take inspiration from something, but it's not about trying to make it better, it's just trying to incorporate it into your own way. But the fact that people turn around and say Game of Thrones is better than these, I'm going to have to give that a hard pass for me. Lord of the Rings is my favourite kind of like fantasy action thing, like set of movies to me. I know Game of Thrones is a TV show. You can't really compare the two anyway. You can't really compare Game of Thrones to Lord of the Rings because they are completely different. But you get the odd people that do. This was a movie that was recommended to me by my partner, Alice. Her channel will be in the description below. This was based on an artist that's her favourite. And yeah, I didn't expect to enjoy this movie so much. Like I bought her copy. Then I loved the movie so much. Not just the story, not just the voice actors. Well, they weren't actually voice actors. They were actual actors. And then they actually hired a whole bunch of artists to draw art designs over film, over the actors, in the style of this painter. And it is Loving Vincent. So these painters actually painted over film, over the characters, to make them all look like paintings throughout the whole film. And I just think that that style is really unique. It's something I haven't really seen before done like or done well, if it has been. This is actually a really fantastic movie as well. Not just because of that, but also because of the story. Also because of the voice actors. You've got quite a few famous people in this movie. And one of being is my second favourite actress of all time, which is Sacha Ronan. But this is a fantastic movie about Vincent. So, I do recommend that one. Oh, it's going this way now. Lucy, a movie about unlocking the full potential of your brain and knowing what humans can possibly possess if they did. It's a good movie. Now, this is not an actual Scream Factory release. I used to have this on Scream Factory, but I wasn't that keen on the movie itself. I don't think it's one of the greatest movies that people make it out to be. But my friend absolutely loves this movie, Sacha, and he really wanted the disc because it came with a limited kind of, well, it's hard to say, like an exclusive interview, like a modern interview about the film, and you can only get it on that release, and I didn't really care, so we switched discs. He sent me his standard Warner Brothers one, and I sent the Scream Factory one. But he sent me the sleeve back because he said the sleeve was too small, so he made a custom. And I actually love the design of this sleeve. And even though he's made customs that are pretty good, I still love the design of this sleeve because it was my first Scream Factory, so the sleeve still has some significance to my heart. And it is Mad Max. So, yeah. I don't care much for the movie at all. I didn't enjoy it as many other people did, but it was okay. Magnificent Seven, I actually enjoyed this. I know this is a remake of a remake, but I think it's a pretty good film. I enjoyed it. Man on Fire, a great Denzel Washington movie. I recommend this highly to anyone who hasn't seen it. Man on Wire, this is actually a documentary based on the guy that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's playing in The Walk. I think his name's Felipe Petit. It's basically a documentary about what he did, how he did it. It shows like pictures and videos and newspaper clippings of the stunt where he walked between the World Trade Center. And it's actually a really fun documentary. So after you've watched The Walk, I recommend you watch this because you'll get a whole much bigger insight on the actual guy than you will if you watch the special features off The Walk. And then the last film is another 80s favourite that I think everyone has to own if you are a late 80s to early 90s child, and it is Mannequin, one of the best movies to ever exist on the planet, definitely in my top 20 at most. But just fun. Kim Cattrall has always been a very beautiful woman. From this, from Porky's, from Big Trouble in Little China, all the way to Sex and the City. She's just always been an attractive woman. But the film itself is one of those fantastically unique stories that you don't get to really see anymore. So that's why I recommend this to anyone who hasn't seen it. Wow, this video was not supposed to be as long as it was. I was going to record a couple of videos. I'm probably only recording this one tonight. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want me to continue doing these collection videos, let me know in the comments below. But like I said, anyone I mentioned in this video, I will put their link to their channel in the description below. Go and check out their channels. Go and show them support. I will also quickly say that my partner Alice, her channel will probably be linked first because of the conversation I'm having with this at the moment, is the fact that she's actually been doing a lot more reviews recently. She's been watching a lot more films, and her reviews are always a lot better than mine because she goes proper into detail. She's more descriptive, she's more accurate, and she's more passionate about reviews than I am. So I highly recommend that you do go and check her out. Please go and subscribe to her channel. Show her support. She deserves it more than I do. But anyway, that is the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, you wonderful, wonderful people. And I shall see you next time.